Welcome to the 4th World Series of Mahjong. Returning to Macau, the entertainment capital of Asia, with an international field of the world's best Mahjong players competing over 2 days for the title of World Champion. The World Series of Mahjong is the first championship tournament to offer a significant cash prize, with the top 32 players at this event sharing just under 2 million Hong Kong dollars in prize money. In addition to a cash prize, the main event champion will be awarded the coveted golden Mahjong necklace. To get here, thousands of players from around the world participated in qualifying tournaments either online or at events held across China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, Australia, Philippines, and North America. Players also had the option to buy in directly to compete in what continues to be the world's largest Mahjong tournament in terms of both player participation and prize money. In day 1, 221 contestants play 4 sessions. Each player's scores from all sessions are totaled, and the 32 players with the highest match point totals receive prize money and advance into the final day rounds. With 221 players competing in day 1 of the main event, the preliminary prize pool stands at 196,245 Hong Kong dollars to be distributed among the top 32 players. The 2-day single elimination format tournament saw the return of Taiwanese celebrities Xu Nailin, Yu Xiaoping, and Quang Mingqie.
因为打麻将应该就是一个大家都可以来参加的一个活动。那在这里面，当然我觉得它是把日本麻将跟香港麻将的一些规则，然后 mix 在一起，然后又做一些编排不一样的东西。所以我觉得就是没有哪一国的选手可以占便宜的，因为如果都是照着日本的话，可能因为他们从小就这么打，那这次就是大家全部都是在于既有的规则跟新的规则当中，然后去找自己记得住的一些牌型跟东西。那我觉得这个就凭个人本事，我认为蛮公平的。
你看我的指甲这个上面是一只咬钱的蟾蜍。然后我戴的这个钻石是黄钻，黄钻就是招财。然后我这边还有一只咬钱的老虎，还有我的小貔貅，我是放在我的身上。
我觉得打麻将的秘诀呢，就是要能攻能守。其实打麻将其实跟像你在打百家乐一样，当你好的时候，你就放手，大胆的去，不要怕放炮但是如果你牌不好的时候，大家对方都气很旺的时候，你那时候就要很保守，很守，尽量不放炮。所以这个就要有攻有守。
The game of Mahjong originated in China and remains a favorite game not only in mainland China, but also in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, and throughout the Asian region, and has also gained a fair amount of popularity in Western countries in recent years. The 4th World Series of Mahjong Tournament in Macau features several former champions, including the 2007 champion Hui Chunlai, 2008 champion Hu Kwok Hung, and 2010 champion Chan Tak Kwan. All 3 past champions from Hong Kong returned to defend their titles against an international field of the world's top Mahjong players.
We have a rules system which allows us to be able to invite and have players participating and competing from different countries. Where in the past that really wasn't possible to do because you had Japanese players played Japanese rules and Chinese players from different regions played their local rules. Taiwanese had a completely different rules system. So now with the unified World Series of Mahjong rules, it really levels the playing field so that people from different countries can actually come and play together at the same time.
咁我哋比賽嘅規則呢，係一個即係簡單易學嘅麻雀啦。咁亦都係有相當嘅策略深度啦。咁定係等選手佢哋可以發揮佢哋嘅技術。咁同埋呢係一個中立嘅規則啦，可以係對於 嚟自唔同國家同埋地區嘅選手係公平嘅。
The World Series of Mahjong uses a set of 136 tiles. The bonus tiles, flowers and seasons, are not used. The 136 tiles are composed of 34 different designs separated into two groups, the number tiles and the honor tiles. The number tiles are in 3 suits, bamboos, characters, and dots, each with 9 designs, numbers 1 through 9. Honor tiles consist of 4 wind designs and 3 dragons designs. The scoring system has been developed with the goals of simplicity and ease of learning, fairness, and competitive skill. At its core are the scoring patterns, including a total of 44 patterns in 10 categories. There are no basic patterns added for how a hand is won. A hand scores based on the patterns it contains.
因為麻雀喺中國打咗好多年，世界各地都好多人打嘅，但係個規則咧就各處都唔同。我哋而家想做嘅嘢咧，就將佢unify， 即是將佢統一咗佢，咁就變咗所有嘅人咧都可以一齊 enjoy， 即係享受呢個麻將呢樣嘢，同埋係可以溝通得到。
The prize pool for the tournament is made up entirely of the total entrance fees collected. This is then divided into 5 prize pools according to ratios. Each prize pool corresponds to a round in the tournament. The size of this prize pool increases in later rounds, so the share received by each player in the round and the money value of each point increases dramatically. Every player participating in this championship event are very experienced and have spent many thousands of hours playing all different versions of Mahjong. But they all have the same goal in mind, to win and be the world's best. And that's why they have gathered here, from all over the world.
I'm from Seattle. I live in Japan, and I've been playing Mahjong for about 11 years. Well, I normally play Mahjong in Japan, and so my favorite thing about coming here is playing with people from all over the world. It's so fun, and everyone just loves Mahjong.
One of the qualifying tournaments for the main event was held in Canada at the River Rock Casino Resort in Richmond, British Columbia, near Vancouver. 64 players competed in the final qualifier at River Rock out of the hundreds that competed for the coveted 64 seats. The 3 top scorers won an all-expense-paid trip to Macau, including a free seat in the main event.
世界麻雀比賽都好多人嚟參加咯，我覺得都辦得幾好咯，希望將來有機會都可以再嚟參加咯。
Qualifying rounds were also held in Taipei and Hong Kong. Both events provide the winner with an all-expenses-paid trip to Macau with a free seat in the main event. While day 1 of the preliminary rounds of the main event saw a total of 221 players, that field was narrowed down onto the top 32 players who advanced to day 2. All of the top 32 players from day 1 received cash prizes according to their score and rankings. Going into round 1 on the final day, the prize pool stands at just under 300,000 Hong Kong dollars with a value of 36.83 Hong Kong dollars per point. 2007 champion Hui Chung Lai from Hong Kong is in there ranked 7th with an accumulated prize payout of 23,800 Hong Kong dollars so far. Leading the rankings after round 1 on the final day is Zhao Jian from China. Moving into the second round on the final day, we see the field narrowed down to 16 players, each competing to share a prize pool of just under Hong Kong $400,000 with a value of $96.76 per point. Taro Suzuki from Japan, now leading with a score of 455 and an accumulated prize of $100,000, while the 2007 champion Hui Chung Lai ranked 2nd, and Zhao Jian from China has slipped to 7th. Welcome back to the 4th World Series of Mahjong in Macau, featuring an international field of the best Mahjong players in the world competing in the semi-final of the main event for the coveted title of World Champion. We now move into the semi-final round on day 2 of the World Series of Mahjong main event. The games in the final rounds follow a special schedule for table rotation in order to provide better matching with only 8 players in the round. The semi-final consists of 4 quarters. 1 cycle or 4 hands will be played in each quarter. Between quarters, the players change tables according to rotation schedule. The final 8 players are Wang Jian from China, Peng Chung-lung from Taiwan. This is also Cheng's first time competing in the World Series of Mahjong main event. Zhou Xin from China. This is Zhou's first time competing in the World Series tournament. Hui Chung-lai from Hong Kong. Hui is the 2007 World Series champion, now competing for his 2nd title. Taro Suzuki. Suzuki is a professional player from Japan, competing in the World Series of Mahjong tournament for the first time. Zhao Jian, a lawyer from China. Huang Jianzhong from China has played in the World Series of Mahjong before and is back to win a title. And finally, Lai Sui Kuei from Hong Kong. Lai was a finalist from the Hong Kong qualifying events. The prize pool for the semi-final day round 3 of the main event here in Macau stands at 491,000 Hong Kong dollars, with a value now as high as $245 per point. That means a 40-point hand is now worth $29,464. Now back to the game with 4 players at the featured table.
We pick up the semi-final game at the first round, playing the 4th hand with Zhao Jian, Hui Chung-lai, Wang Jian, and Huang Jianzhong. Hui Chung-lai has a hand with the hope to form an all sequences winning hand, but it all depends on what tiles he draws. Huang Jianzhong has more character tiles. Naturally, he'll discard useless ones first. He's keeping the red and the green dragon for the moment. Each dragon triplets can score 10 points, so players usually keep dragons for a few turns, hoping to claim for a pawn after drawing a pair. Wang Jian now has a pair of North Wind plus 3 other pairs and can consider making an all-triplet hand, which as per the World Series of Mahjong rules is worth 30 points. Zhao Jian has more dot tiles and might go for a mixed one-suit or even a pure one-suit hand, since mixed one-suit has a value of 40 points in World Series, which is quite high-scoring hand, is a rather good starting hand. Just now, with a 5 and 6 character, Hui Chung-lai claimed his 7 character discarded by his upper sleeve opponent Zhao Jian, still having a chance to make an all sequences hand. Huang Jianzhong discards the red dragon, and since Wang Jian has got 4 pairs, he may try creating the all triplet pattern. 7 pairs might be a bit farther away when you only have 4 pairs. And Zhao Jian draws a 7 dot. He then throws us the red dragon in an identical tile already discarded before. Huang Jianzhong takes in another useful 4 bamboo, and that gets rid of his last match honor tile, the south wind. Wang Jian picks a 4 bamboo, which can be useful together with his 5, 6, 7 bamboo, and so he may want to keep it. Huang Jianzhong was isolated 3 as 7 character in hand. He discards the 7, probably trying to form 2 identical sequences in 4, 5, and 6 dot. Now Zhao Jian makes a true form of 2 dot discarded by his upper seat Wang Jian. Still, he's 2 tiles away from a calling hand. If he can luckily get a 9 tiles straight, he will win with a high scoring hand. Hui Chung-lai draws a 6 character and white form 2 identical sequences in 5, 6, or 7 character, so he discards his green dragon. After 6 turn, Huang Jianlong still hasn't drawn anything to go with the 3 characters, so he discards it. Takes in a north wind, good for him to possibly claim for a Kong and score high. Right now he can discard 4 or 7 bamboo and he'll be calling for this 3 and 6 dot, and it's a concealed hand. Zhao Zhen is still waiting for good tiles to advance his mixed one-suit hand, but it might be difficult since the other opponents are each holding 4 to 6 dot tiles. Wow, now Wang Zhen wins. It's a win on a self-draw with a concealed hand. That's a regular hand concealed without melting any exposed sets before winning. The hand scores 5 points, so every other player gives the winner 5 points. In the fourth hand in the first round, Wang Zhen gets his first win.
不過佢都打得好，不過佢哋啲牌好似動起手都幾乎差唔多食糊咁樣嘅。你剛剛睇嗰鋪你都知啦，佢個藍佢嗰隻藍換咗去9萬，佢已經根本係天胡嚟㗎。啊，咁你人哋都防不勝防。
第一個高手太多了，第二個，每一局的競爭都很激烈，第三個，一定要觀察上下家的牌，不要的一定要盡快的扔掉，挺難打的，確實是世界頂尖水平。目前我的分數還是正的，但是，先盡量保持在正風，如果運氣好的話，那有可能能進決賽；如果運氣不好，那也盡力。
Wang Zhen starts with a pair of North Wind, which can serve as the eyes for an all-sequences hand. Zhou Xin likes to play without sorting his tiles. He sorts them later when his hands has taken shape. Now with the possibility to complete an all-sequences hand, it discards an unmatched North Wind. Wang Zhen does not claim it for Peng, wanting to use them as a pair of eyes. Suzuki also discards unmatched honors first while keeping the green dragon, which has value. And will Zhao Zhen retain his red dragon? He hesitates and decides to keep it and discards a 9 bamboo instead. Zhou Xin collects a North Wind and naturally he'll discard it, not having claimed Zhou's first discarded North Wind for a Peng. Now Wang Zhen also doesn't claim Peng. Suzuki goes on discarding unmatched green dragon in hand. Zhao Zhen draws a 3 character and opts to discard the 1 dot, while keeping the red dragon, otherwise it should be claimed for a Peng. Draws a 7 dot to form a sequence, now having a pair of 4 dot as the eyes. With 2 North Winds already discarded by opponents, he throws away a North Wind from a pair and discards an isolated 9 dot. Suzuki continues to discard a useless East Wind just drawn. A 2 dot, Zhao Zhen discards the red dragon. He has good draws with good number tiles to form sequences. Zhou Xin might complete 3 similar sequences hand, perhaps in numbers 2, 3, 4 across the bamboo character and dot suits. That could be a very nice pattern. Suzuki draws an 8 character to make a partial sequence with his 6, so he discards a useless 1 character. Zhao Zhen takes in a nice 4 bamboo. Will he proceed to discard the 6 character? He chooses to keep it and discards the 8 character. Now his lower seat Wang Zhen claims it with 7 and 9 character for Shi, trying to complete all sequences or perhaps 3 similar sequences in numbers 7, 8, 9. Suzuki hasn't drawn any useful tiles for nearly 6 turns. Zhao Zhen collects a 4 dot with luck on his side, but now he has to decide on which pair to break, as he has 3 pairs in hand. Holding too many pairs is not useful for an all sequences hand, and it also tends to slow down the hand. He is discarding a 3 character from a pair. Wang Zhen draws a 6 bamboo, but still keeps an isolated 5 character for which he hopes to draw a neighbor. As we know, tile of number 4, 5, 6 are in the middle. They are quite useful for forming sequences, so he's keeping the 5 character for now. Suzuki now takes a red dragon. Retains it for now since only 1 red dragon has been discarded so far. He might want to keep it for an eye call or for a safe discard later. Zhou Xin draws a 3-character to fill in his sequence, then discards the useless 8 dot. In the World Series of Mahjong, discarding to let a big hand win is very costly, since one has to pay a large portion of the losses. Therefore, players usually keep some safe discards such as honor tiles for defense in the late game. In this hand, nobody claimed the first discarded red dragon for Pong, so it's likely that no one wants it, and it's probably a safe discard. Therefore, Suzuki opted to keep a red dragon for a safe discard.
We will be back with more with the World Series of Mahjong right after this break. Welcome back to the 4th World Series of Mahjong in Macau, featuring an international field of the best Mahjong players in the world competing in the semi-final of the main event for the coveted title of World Champion.
Zhao Jin draws an 8 bamboo again, discarding a 3-character. Wang Jie now draws a neighbor for the 5-character which he has held on to. That's why the middle numbers 4, 5, 6 are worth keeping. After discarding a 9 bamboo, Wang Jie has a calling hand. He's the first player calling. Suzuki draws a 5 dot to make a pair of eyes, discarding the 3 dot but still keeping the red dragon. Now Zhou Xin draws a right dragon but keeps it, in the same line of thought with Suzuki, who keeps the red dragon for defense or preventing other players from claiming the white dragon through Pong. But as the white dragon appeared in the discards not long ago, I guess it's more for a defense. Zhou Xin draws out a useless 7-character, which is then claimed Shi by Suzuki with his 6 and 8 characters. Now he is only 1 tile away from calling. Suzuki claims a 2 bamboo for Chi. He sacrifices his edge call for 7 dot and breaks his 8 and 9 dots while keeping the 4 bamboo. Evidently, he's trying for a 9 tile straight. 9 tile straight is 40 points in the World Series of Mahjong, which is quite big. And now somebody wins. It's Wang Jian, the player from China. It's again another win on self-draw. The only patterns all sequences. At a certain point, Suzuki had a choice between speed and value. Going for 9 tiles straight means that his hand will be 1 tile away from calling instead of already calling. That certainly hurts his chance of winning the hand, but he might feel that when no opponent is threatening a big hand, it's worth going for a big hand.
Besides receiving a significant cash prize, the World Series of Mahjong Champion also wins the coveted golden Mahjong necklace.
We're now in the second hand of the third round with Hui Cheng-lai, Wang Jian, Peng Junlong, and Zhou Xin. Hui Cheng-lai always has a serious look and is more cautious. He truly deserved the title in the first tournament. No doubt his strength earns him a seat in the semifinal. With his hand, one usually discards the east wind first. But instead he discards the 3-character. Perhaps he doesn't want anyone to pwn the wind. Peng Junlong has a good starting hand. He'll start with throwing unmatched honors. He claims a 3-character from his upper seat Hui Cheng-lai for a Chi, then discards a west wind. Wang Jian also has a good starting hand with the potential to form 3 similar sequences in numbers 7 and 8, 9. As such, he discards first an honor tile. Hui Cheng-lai takes in a green dragon, then discards an unmatched east wind because including a pair of north wind, he has altogether 4 pairs in his hand. It's fit for making an all-triplet hand. Usually it's easier to claim honor tiles and terminal tiles for a pawn because they're harder for others to use. Takes in a north wind, discards a white dragon, still keeping the green dragon. Peng Junlong draws a useless east wind and discards it. Luck is with Wang Jian. He collects the 8 bamboo to form the eyes, and now he can discard the white dragon. Zhou Xin keeps getting rid of honor tiles, while white dragon he now discards the north wind. Now the long-waiting Hui Cheng-lai claims it for a pong. Seems he wants to make an all-triplet hand. One takes in a 3 character trying to form an all sequences hand. Wang Jian indeed has a lucky hand. He draws a 9 bamboo and discards a redundant 7 dot. Overseas Zhou Xin claims it for a chi with 8-9 dots, discarding a useless green dragon. Hui Chonglai still has to claim 2 pongs as well as to get another pair for the eyes. Peng Chonglong draws a 6 dot, which is useless. Now Wang Jian has a ready hand, discarding a 4 character, calling for a 6 or a 9 character. It's a good shape. If a good 9 character comes by, he can complete 7, 8, 9, 3 similar sequences. If he gets a 6 character, then he scores all sequences plus concealed hand. With a concealed hand, it's hard for his opponent to figure out what he really needs, especially if it's tempting to discard the terminal tile 9 character since it has lower usage for sequences. Now Zhou Xin also has a ready hand. He has a crucial choice with which tile to fish for eye call. He opts for a 5 dot. Hui Chonglai draws a 9 character. Will he keep going for all triplet and throw it, or will he retain it? If he throws it out, he'll let Wang Jian win on his discard. He decides to hold it, considering that the 9 character has also never appeared previously, and that it completes his 7, 8, 9 character sequence, which is useful if he needs to win. Wang Jian now is waiting for a 6 or a 9 character. Peng Chonglai still can't draw a useful tile and discards again on honor tile. Hui Chonglai picks up a 3 character since 7 character has also been discarded. The 5 dot is claimed by Peng Chonglong for a chi, putting him closer to a ready hand. He has to break the partial sets of 3-5 character or 1-3 bamboo. He opts for breaking the 3-5 characters. Wang Jian draws a 1 character, not the 6 or 9 character wanted.
Let's hear how the players from Taiwan and China feel about their chances.
现在就是进入8强，然后其他7位选手都很厉害，所以就是要小心应战。我觉得现在对手都蛮厉害的，所以有时候不能只想着要做大牌，也要观察对手大牌的方向，去决定自己要做什么牌型。
一个是累，第二个是刺激、紧张，然后才能够享受。因为我是第一次参赛，而且我还跟第1届的冠军一起打，觉得很荣幸。可能我在想，我可能比赛经验还不是很足，只能靠自己的牌。 然后看他的牌型是怎么来的，去进攻或者防守是这样子，所以还要看情况。目前的为止的话，就是下半还有2小节的话，其实对我来说很重要。
Now we're going to play the last hand in the 3rd round with Hui Chonglai, Wang Jian, Peng Chonglong, and Zhou Xin. So far, the East player Zhou Xin has had 2 wins. North player Wang Jian has won 1 hand, South player Hui Chonglai and the West player Peng Chonglong haven't won yet. Let's see how the last hand in this round goes. With several pairs in his hand, Wang Jian discards an unmatched West Wind. Zhou Xin's hands start with no honor tiles. It looks like an efficient sequence hand. Hui Chonglai keeps a white dragon for its value. Peng Chonglong also has several pairs, but he claims a chi on the 1 dot discarded by Hui is upper seat. He's looking at getting Peng with his white dragon pair, which could score up to 10 points, which is an okay score for itself. As Hui Chonglai has an unmatched white dragon in his hand, he'll have to throw it sooner or later. Zhou Xin draws a 6 dot, discarding a 3 character. He can aim for 5, 6, 7, 3 similar sequences. Peng Chonglong draws a useless 1 character and isolated terminal, discards it. Wang Jian also draws a tile that's not that useful. He can make 2 identical sequences in characters 1, 2, 3 for 10 points. Zhou Xin draws a 1 dot. This gives him the skeleton for a 9 tile straight. Now he has 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9 dots. It's a very good hand already with eyes. He Chonglai has no chance but to discard his white dragon. Knowing that he's not getting a pair, he should have done it earlier, because the later you throw it, the more dangerous it becomes. Of course, Peng Chonglong claims it for his long-awaited Peng. He discards a useless 6 dot and is now 1 tile away from a ready hand. The lower seat Wang Jian claims his discard for a 4, 5, 6 dot sequence. It keeps the red dragon. Zhou Xin draws a 3 bamboo and he should get rid of this 5 character or 6 bamboo. And he discards the 5 character. He Chonglai discards a 8 bamboo. Peng Chonglong claims it for a Peng. Now he has a ready hand with a set of white dragon for 10 points. He has a high chance of winning with a 2-way call for 4 or 7 character. Young as he is, Peng Chonglong stays calm, forming Chi or Peng melts in his stride. Zhou Xin draws a 2 dot. He seems to have a good luck. He hasn't claimed any Chi or Peng. He has drawn a concealed 9 tiles straight. This is difficult for the other players to detect. They can be caught off guard. Let's see if his luck can bring him to the goal line. And Peng Chonglong wins his hand with the 7 character discarded by Zhou Xin. One has a good chance of winning if one has a 2-way call. It's a pity of Zhou Xin, who has just got most of the tiles for his 9 tiles straight, but is still 1 tile away from calling. In Mahjong, speed is very important.
Welcome back to the 4th World Series of Mahjong in Macau, featuring an international field of the best Mahjong players in the world competing in the semi-final of the main event for the coveted title of World Champion. The $1 million question: is Mahjong a game of chance or a game of skill?
我觉得打麻将跟磁场有关系，还跟人有关系。有时候你看，常常有时候我们这4个人打，这4个人打呢，我就常常赢。但是呢，我跟另外的3个人打，我可能常常输。那有时候呢，在这个人的家里面打，常常输；有个人在这个人家打，常常赢。所以我觉得打麻将跟人的磁场、跟地方都會有關係。
其實運氣好緊要，7成啊，真係要係，因為有啲牌始終會遇到啲運氣比你好嘅人，佢俾你明佢好快就突然間就已經食咗糊，咁呢啲牌根本上大家都冇得切磋，已經打完一鋪啦。咁所以運氣佔多過大半啦，而家。
一定運氣，係運氣，我覺得佔6、7成㗎啦，起碼。
The 4th and final round of the semifinals now begin with He Chonglai, Zhao Jian, Lai Xiukui, and Zhou Xin. He Chonglai has played 2 rounds before the 3rd round, which we just watched. During the first 2 rounds at the number 1 table, he couldn't win any hand. So it is in a tough situation. It's not easy for him to get into the finals. Zhao Jian's also at the same table, and as we have seen, he had already won 3 times. Zhou Xin has also won 3 times. This round is vital for deciding who will advance to the top 4. At the end of this round, we'll know which top 4 players proceed to the grand final for this year's World Series of Mahjong. Let's see how the 4 players are doing. He Chonglai's hand has quite a few honor tiles which needs to be dealt with first. Lai Xiukui has a good hand with a pair of white dragon and good groupings of number tiles. Has an excellent hand with a triplet of green dragons and a pair of red dragons. He just needs to pong the red dragons and he will score 20 for the 2 dragon triplets when he wins. He Chonglai's got an unmatched red dragon which he will have to discard sooner or later. Zhao Jian, having also a good hand, discards an unmatched east wind. Lai Xiukui draws a west wind, planning to discard the 5 character but accidentally exposes the west wind. Thus he discards the exposed west wind first, or it will become a dead penalty tile which cannot be discarded hereafter. He exposed the 5 character as well. Since he's not discarding it right away, it becomes a dead penalty tile. He cannot use it to claim a discard and can only use it to make a concealed set with tiles he draws from the wall. Semi-final now, players are quite tense. Zhou Xin draws a 5 bamboo to make another pair. An all triplet hand scores 30 points. Zhao Jian is playing towards an all sequences hand. Ho Chonglai pondered a bit. And claims a 2 character from his upper seat Zhao Jian for a Chi, then discards a 1 dot. He still keeps the red dragon. Lai Siu Ko cannot discard the 5 character since it is a dead penalty tile. Pondering for a moment, Zhao Jian claims the 8 character from his upper seat for a 7-8-9 sequence. Ho Chonglai discards a white dragon, which is then claimed by the lower seat Lai Siu Ko for a Pong. Zhao Jian's hand looks like a mirror all sequences hand. Now we can see that Ho Chonglai has moved his red dragon to one end and he will probably discard it soon for Zhou Xin to Pong. Will Ho Chonglai discard the red dragon? He does. Zhou Xin will of course Pong. That gives him 20 points, 10 points each for red dragon and green dragon triplet. And has a prospect for 3 similar sequences of 5, 6, 7. Ho Chonglai throws out a raw 1 character soon to be claimed by Zhou Xin for a Pong. Now Zhou Xin becomes the first player to be calling, and it's all triplets hand. According to the rules of the World Series of Mahjong, the pattern becomes 30 points. With the 2 dragon triplets for another 20, that's 50 points total. Zhao Jian also draws in a good character and he's calling for a 6 dot. Lai Siu Ko's 5 character at dead penalty tile is still isolated. Zhou Xin's calling for a 3 or 5 bamboo. We can see that 1 5 bamboo is already gone. Ho Chonglai has 2 or 3 bamboo tiles. He probably won't throw them. And Zhou Xin has only hope for the 5 bamboo in the wall. His chances are not very high. When Ho Chonglai discards a 6 bamboo, Zhou Xin looks rather helpless. Zhou Xin draws a 6 dot, a tile Zhao Jian is calling for. He can't use it, and so he'll throw it, and sure enough, Zhao Jian will claim it for a win. He wins on 3 similar sequences consisting of 5, 6, 7 bamboo, dots, and character. Judging from the result of this round, we can say that if you cannot have a higher score winning hand, you may have to settle for a narrower calling shape.
なんか出来がいいですね。うまくいってると思います。はい、自分は日本麻雀のプロなんで、その普段売ってる麻雀をちょっとアレンジする感じで売ってます。はい、それでいけるんじゃないかと思ってやってます。
Welcome back to the 4th World Series of Mahjong in Macau, featuring an international field of the best Mahjong players in the world competing in the semi-final of the main event for the coveted title of World Champion.
We continue now in the final round of the semi-final, playing in the second hand with Ho Chonglai, Zhao Jian, Lai Siu Ko, and Zhou Xin. Zhou Xin's hand has quite a few dots. He He may try to form a mixed one-suit hand. But he draws a bamboo forming a partial set. He chooses to keep it for now. Zhao Jian has a few honor tiles which he'll probably discard soon. He'll probably make a sequence hand, perhaps 3 similar sequences. Will Hui Chonglai go for a mixed one-suit hand? Or 3, 4, 5, 3 similar sequences? He discards a 2 dot, soon to be claimed by the lower seat Lai Xiukui for a Chi with 1 and 3 dot. Lai Xiukui has a pair of green dragons. He could score 10 points by claiming a Peng with them. And all sequences hand is also possible for him, so he discards a useless 5 character. Zhou Xin has a pair of red dragons. He can earn 10 points by claiming a Peng. Zhao Jian discards his terminal tiles, keeping the honor tiles for defense. Hui Chonglai starts to discard the honor tiles. It seems he has abandoned the idea of a mixed one-suit hand. Lai Xiukui draws a 6 dot but chooses to keep the 4 bamboo. He discards a 6 dot, which may be used to form the eyes. Zhou Xin keeps drawing dots. He may complete a mixed one-suit hand. Zhao Jian keeps discarding his terminal tiles, waiting to draw middle number tiles to improve his hand. Hui Chonglai keeps getting rid of honor tiles. Lai Xiukui has 1 tile from calling in all sequences hand. Zhou Xin, trying to make a mixed one-suit hand, keeps discarding the characters and the dots. We can see that he doesn't sort his tiles. He doesn't sort them until he has a calling hand. Zhao Jian draws an 8 bamboo and discards the west wind. Hui Chonglai has 3 unmatched dragon tiles. He starts by discarding the red dragon. Zhao Jian is about to discard the white dragon, but he decides to keep it for a little longer. Hui Chonglai does the same thing. Well, is there some telepathy between them? But he has 3 dragon tiles, quite possibly needed by others for a win. He should have discarded them earlier. Now Lai Xiukui claims a green dragon Peng for 10 points, but he lacks the eye. He still opts to discard the 4 bamboo. If he didn't discard the 6 dot, he should have had a ready hand by now, so he lost some speed. Zhou Xin keeps drawing dots. Good for him. He's only 1 tile from a calling hand. Zhou Xin discards a 6 bamboo claimed by Zhao Jian for a 4, 5, 6 Chi. Then Zhao Jian discards a white dragon. Hui Chonglai will surely follow suit to discard his white dragon. Lai Xiukui now needs to draw a good tile to advance his hand. Zhao Jian needs a 5 or 7 dot or a 5 or 8 character to form a ready hand. He has a chance towards 3 similar sequences of 4, 5, 6. Hui Chonglai now has 3 bamboos and decides to break the edge group of 8, 9 characters. Lai Xiukui draws a 1 bamboo, a terminal tile. In fact, he should have kept it for a pair. Lacking the eyes, he should consider which tiles are easier to make the eyes. Zhao Jian draws an 8 dot forming a pair. He then breaks his pair of 8 bamboo. His lower seed Hui Chonglai claims it for a Chi with 6 and 7. He discards the 8 character to be the first player with a calling hand. Lai Xiukui draws a 7 dot to form a pair. He discards a 6 dot and has a ready hand. He's also the second one to have a ready hand. He has an edge call for a 3 character. Unfortunately, that 6 dot is claimed by Hui Chonglai for a win. It's an all sequences hand. We can see that playing Mahjong is all about the interaction between the 4 players. If Zhao Jian broke the pair of 8 dots, Hui Chonglai could have claimed the 8 bamboo to form a ready hand. And he would not have won with the discarded 6 dot. Whether or not is not only associated with one's skill or level and luck. It also depends on how their opponents play the game.
Now let's hear from Wang Jian and Huang Jianzhong about their game.
先就是可能根据排势吧，如果得的分现在还比较多的话，那我可能就更多的以防守为准了。如果现在负分比较多的话，那我可能就是以进攻为准了，就可能尽可能去做大牌，然后通过这种做大牌，然后把自己的分数再提上来。我觉得能够闯到8强的各个应该都非常的强吧，实力都非常的厉害。
目前就是8强进4强的一个刚刚打完，那目前我自己判断是比较危险的，应该是在第5或者第6的位置，目前的判断。 我们的对手能够打到前8名，是非常强，他们有非常好的一个敏锐的一个触觉。当然，我觉得这一次的比赛里面心态是最重要的，战术排第2，然后我们觉得运气应该会排在第3位，然后技术应该是排在第4位，因为一旦你的心态处得不好，你的技术再好也会变形。
Let's look at the final hand in the semifinals with Ho Chung-lai, Zhao Jian, Lai Siu-kei, and Zhou Xin. We do not know the 4 players' scores yet. The players in the lead with a good score may try to go for a quick win with even a chicken hand without any patterns. Those with a lower score may be thinking about how to catch up with a bigger hand. All the players will take very cautious approach in the final hand. It is indeed mentally demanding, simply because if you fail, you'll miss the grand final. If you have been winning big, it's easier for you to go in. Zhao Jian has a pretty good hand to start with. He has a potential in all triplets winning hand, including Red Dragon and East Winds. He discards a 1 bamboo to claim by his upper seat Zhou Xin for a pong. Ho Chung-lai has relatively more pairs and bamboo tiles. He may discard honor tiles first. Lai Siu-kei has a good hand as well. He may also discard honor tiles first. We can tell that Zhou Xin is on the way to form a mixed lesser terminal hand, where every of the 4 sets as well as a pair of eyes includes a terminal or honor tile. According to World Series Mahjong rules, this is a rather big pattern worth 40 points. Lai Siu-kei draws a good tile, moving smoothly towards the sequence hand. Zhou Xin draws a white dragon and keeps it. He discards an east wind claimed by Zhao Jian for a pong. Zhao Jian then discards a 9 character, meaning he's not trying to form a mixed 1-suit hand. Zhou Xin draws a green dragon and keeps it. Zhao Jian is 1 tile away from calling. What he needs is to pong red dragon or 8 dot or choose 3, 5, or 8 character. Ho Chung-lai gets rid of his 8 character. Lai Siu-kei hesitates and doesn't claim it for Chi. Well, he may be right. If you're not quite sure you need to Chi, better not to. He draws and discards a red dragon picked up by Zhao Jian for a pong with 10 points. Zhao Jian is the first player with a calling hand. He's very quick. Ho Chung-lai draws a good tile. He should discard the white dragon right away, but he chooses to keep the dragons, discarding 8 dot instead. Zhao Jian boldly pong it to improve his hand off all triplets. He discards a 1 character claimed by Lai Siu-kei for a pong. Zhou Xin was waiting for a terminal toss to advance his hand. Ho Chung-lai draws a 3 dot, discards a white dragon, forming a ready hand calling for either 6 or 9 bamboo. There's a scarcity of the 2 tiles. Lai Siu-kei doesn't have a good hand. Zhou Xin follows by discarding a white dragon, trying to keep his green dragon. Zhao Jian already has a ready hand with a high chance of winning. He's eye-calling for Northwind. There's no Northwind discards, meaning that the wall has 3 Northwind tiles. The other players might be able to guess that he has an all-triplet ready hand, but they might not know he's calling for an honor tile. We can notice that when Zhao Jian draws a west wind, he discards it without hesitation. He hopes that it serves a misleading gesture. If he ponders, others may know that he's choosing a tile for an eye. Lai Siu-kei draws a green dragon, but he dares not to discard it, and it's raw. Zhou Xin is still trying to form a mixed lesser terminal hand without discarding the raw green dragon. Ho Chung-lai has drawn excellent number tiles. He discards a 9 bamboo, switching to a better calling shape. And Zhao Jian draws a green dragon. He discards the North Wind. Lai Xiuke and Zhou Xin each has a green dragon. This means that there's only one green dragon left. It becomes rather difficult to come by. If Zhao Jian draws a number tile on the next turn, he should discard the green dragon right away. And he gets a 9 character and discards the green dragon. Now he has a ready hand calling for a 9 or 8 character. If he wins on a 9 character, he'll get more points. Oh, but now that Ho Chung-lai suddenly announces a self-draw win, he wins with a concealed hand. That was a good semi-final with 8 players here at the World Series of Mahjong. We return for more action from the TV table in the grand final with only 4 players remaining.
Is Lai Xiuque from Hong Kong still in the running for the top 4?
啱啱打完呢個8強啦，啱啱打完呢個8強，咁就未知道入唔入到4強。
That brings us to the end of the semi-final round, with the current scoreboard as follows. The top 4 players proceed to the final game. Taro Suzuki from Japan leads with a score of 109 points and the largest accumulated prize pool so far, $175,408. Zhao Jian closely follows him with a score of 80 points and $135,000 in prize money. Lai Xiuque ranks 3rd, followed by Peng Cheng-lung. This is the first time that the top 4 World Series of Mahjong players have represented China, Hong Kong, Japan, and Taiwan. While the top 4 players proceed to the final, the 4 eliminated in the semifinal each receive cash prize payouts. Not a bad position to be in if we look at that chart again. The 4th World Series of Mahjong Championship will return in Part 2, dedicated to the final game, featuring highlights of the world's top Mahjong players representing China, Hong Kong, Japan, and Taiwan on the main event feature table right here in Macau.